Hi, and welcome again to another upper discussion. We want to continue our discussion from last week um, and delve some more into some of the issues that our children are having uh, and see if we can come up with some solutions some way, somehow, that whoever is watching um, can know what to do and how to navigate through their specific issue. Uh, I am Denzel Harris, aka Mr. Easy.
Hi everyone, my name is Deidre.
Hello, I'm Nadia.
Hi, my name is Dijor. So welcome.
Okay, right. So I didn't get to say much last week, um, but based on some of the issues that we touched on, I guess we focused mostly on the fact that schools are out and the children have to be using Zoom and what's the other one? Google Classroom, and some of the issues there. Uh, we also, well, I mentioned initially last week that it was reported that there are more reports of um, abuse, both physical and sexual abuse to our children since the lockdowns. Um, and then I would think that that would also increase the psychological abuse as well. Um, don't know if we can touch on some of that. Um, we might not know of any particular case, but um, what what are some of the things that probably could be contributing to the increased abuse to our children, and what are some of the solutions that we could probably um, offer.
So, from my standpoint, I think that as parents, we need to be more vigilant. Back in the day, it took the village to raise a child. Now, the village is actually harming the child, and
Mhm.
it's no longer safe to say, "Oh, Tom, the over Mass Roy, me take care of him," or Denise, the upper Miss so and so, she will take care of her, because those same trusted persons are the ones that are actually harming our babies. So as parents, we need to be more vigilant. We need to listen more to our kids, um, you know, tell them or help them to express themselves. I mean, I can appreciate a child that will express themselves. They don't have to be disrespectful. Or I appreciate a very talkative child because I will always know what is going on. So trying to muzzle a child, telling them not them chat too much, which yes, we know that it can be annoying sometimes when they start talking because I have to deal with it. But still giving the child freedom to express themselves. Now we know that it's difficult when, especially if you're a single parent, um, going out to work, taking care of the home, and all of them stuff. But at the end of the day, we have to do it for our kids, because if we don't do it, no one else is. And as I said before, the village is not raising the child anymore. So just be vigilant, listen to your child. I mean, help in whatever way that you can. If it is that you're not able to offer a particular guidance to the child, go out and seek help also, so that you can help your kids or child, because that's just the best advice I can give at this moment. In these times when things are changing, there is no constant like we were used to before. We just have to change with the times.
And one of the things though, is that with that change that you spoke about just now, it has somehow um frustrated a lot of adults
Mm-hmm.
and parents by extension, and that also kind of, what will you say now, takes their mind off actually caring for the child, because of the frustration that has been added. It really you want to, instead of, you know offer care and, make sure that the child is all right and all of that. Sometimes what happens is that the parent takes out that frustration on the child, and it can either be in in the form of physical abuse, verbal abuse, um, and also neglect as another form of abuse as well. Um, Also, because a lot of people have lost their jobs and stuff, they are basically out trying to see how best they can get some form of income, you know, which also leads to another factor of neglect and stuff. Um, so I think that's one of the factors, the frustration that people um, have now been under because of what is happening, and so the mind is more focused on the frustration than, you know the actual care of our children.
Um, I what you're saying is true to a fact, because as parents, I'm not sure if Nadia can attest to this, but definitely there are times when you will feel like giving up, throwing in the button, and just pulling out your hair, scream, run, and all them good, all those stuff. But at the end of the day, you want the best for your child, and parenting is a very difficult job. And most of us don't have a support system. And we went into parenting not knowing the first thing to do. But the love that you have for your child or children pushes you to get better, be better. You may not get it the first 100 times or 1,000 times, but at the end of the day, for me, I know that there were certain things that I went through that I didn't want for my kids. And you're not going to get it right all the time. And sometimes you may think that you are doing the right thing when you're actually causing harm. But sometimes taking a break can help. Not running away, leave your children that kind of break, but just stepping back a little bit, try to find a space that to help you clear your mind and then go at it again. Because as I said, nobody is really looking out for our children like back in the day. And
Right.
as a parent, if you give up on your child, who do you expect is going to pick up the baton to make them become the person that they should be? So it's a difficult time, a trying time, because like one time maybe you could go to the school and you could talk to a guidance counselor or get referred to go and talk to somebody. You could visit church and get like a prayer and, or talk to the pastor or something. All of that kind of very limited right now. So
Mhm.
if you didn't have a strong support system prior to now and know that everything has been restricted, it is even more difficult. And with the culture that we have, where expressing yourself is wrong, um, men don't cry, and you have to tough it out and you have to hold it. And if you go see counseling or therapy or whatever, then you're crazy, or something is wrong. All of them stuff mixed into what is happening, it makes it 10 times more difficult to deal with the whole parenting thing.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
true.
um, the kids are frustrated, one. So most of it is showing out in their behavior, which most parents, especially Jamaican parents, are so backward they don't even realize that the children are frustrated. The children are used to coming out the house, going to school during the day, seeing their friends, interacting, coming back home. That's not happening. They're at home 24 hours a day. You're looking at a laptop or a tablet or whatsoever it is, and who cares? Because I don't even like having online training. And I'm an adult.
Mhm.
I hate it. So can you imagine the poor child? How do you get an 8-year-old or a 6-year-old to concentrate? How?
Yeah, and remember that their attention span is
Is,
very
yes,
short.
limited. Hmm.
Thank you. So
Yeah,
you understand
I
me?
have to catch up with my daughter sometimes. You need to pay attention, because sometimes she just space out. I don't know where she is and what she's doing
Um,
there, but she's definitely not into what is happening.
You understand me?
yeah.
So what we need to realize is that coronavirus ain't going nowhere. And we need to start accept it, live with it, just like how we live with Satan and Jesus, and continue with our lives. We have to. Because most of we hug up Satan more than anything else. So we need to just get it, just the kids need to go back to school one. They need some sort of normalcy. Because most of the times it was these same teachers that prevented a lot of things that happening. These
Yes.
same teachers that were giving some of these kids food. Because most of the time
Mhm.
they didn't have food to eat. You
True.
understand me? Or
Combing their hair and all them
that's what
stuff
I'm saying.
too.
The hug that they
Mhm.
would need to get at home, they're not getting it. So that teacher would give them the only hug, the only some sort of
Mhm.
human contact that they would get. No, that's all they would get. That's the only normalcy most of them had. And we have taken
Yeah,
that
and
away from them. If you look out,
you
I
know
was
that.
when I woke up, because I was sleeping and I woke up and like I jump on Facebook and when I look on it, it said this little girl, she ran away twice already this month. She's only
Mhm.
14. Twice
Yeah.
she ran away from home. And the mother is gonna say she don't know why. Shut the hell up.
You know, to add to the point about the teachers being the one that the child would hug and so forth, um, a lot of the times the teacher is the child's confidant, you know. So if there's an issue, there's something happening at home, whatever, you know, discomfort they're having, they would look forward to going to school to tell the teacher that this is happening, and the teacher would, you know, some way console a child and try to address the situation or the issue depending on how bad it is, and probably would, you know, include the authorities or so, or CPSFA or whatever. But one of the things, as you mentioned earlier, is that this coronavirus is here, and it has been here for more than a year now. How long is it going to take us as, you know, people to adjust to, I don't want to call it a new norm,
It
but
is.
Yeah.
whatever is happening, right? How long is it going to take us to adjust and then to find ways and means now to compensate for the things that we are used to that we don't have anymore, and to try and live some, you know, as close as possible to normal, you know, that type of thing. Because what one of the things with us as human beings, and probably I don't know if it is more um if it is intensified for us as Jamaicans, but we're not really accepting of change. So anything that comes to change our lives and to change our what we know as normal, um, is really rejected. And I mean, you can see it every day. People, even with the curfews and everything, people are just breaking the curfews because I'm not accepting that, you
They only
know.
do that in Jamaica.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
They only do it in
Um,
Jamaica. They can't do it nowhere else, okay? Nowhere else they can go and do it.
well, that would also speak to the enforcement of.
Thank you. That's what I was just going to say. We have a reactive government other than a proactive government. So when all of these things are happening and it's getting out of hand, that is when they're going to try to put in methods to pull back the issue which has already happened.
No matter what, listen, we keep blaming the government. Jamaica is a set of people that have no behavior, very unruly, do not care. When they're
I
in
agree.
Jamaica, when they're in
But
Jamaica,
if it is that there were sanctions that
Mm-hmm.
whenever you do certain things you will be held accountable, then they would not be doing it. Yes, we
Right.
agree that when they go to foreign countries they stick to every single rule there is, because they
Cause
know say
them
them
know.
can't play a certain way when they go abroad. They coming
Right.
back at them yard and they know want that, so them go adhere to the rules and regulations that have been set. But
Yep.
here, because them know said it's the police and everybody is all bark and no bite, then them just do whatever they want to
so
do. And because they can give somebody a little 2 grand or 3 grand or whatever, and them all right and them get way off or whatever and all of them stuff, then they're going to continue to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
so we still need back over our back with a whip.
It would seem
Here.
so.
Me
You
swear to
see?
God, slavery done long time.
No, 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 no. You see, slavery is not the actual man on the farm or whatever, right? Slavery has to do a lot with your mentality,
Yes, it
yeah,
has
and it
morphed.
it has actually, been passed down. It is a part of our culture, yeah.
Mhm.
We with our mouths we lash out against it, but with the attitude that you see people, you know, it's really etched in our minds, and we
Yep.
make ourselves slaves because of the way we think and operate,
Even
you
with
know.
the 6 feet apart that they are saying that, and the business places, how the certain amount of persons that should be inside, they're not adhering to any of that.
No.
I only go on the road once per week, and that is a Friday. And I dread going on the road because if you go to the ATM, it's like the person behind you wants to come catch up on your bottom. Like you have
Me I
one
tell
seat
you,
down there, and even when
yeah.
you move, even when you
them
move
still
to say,
edge
yeah, then
closer and closer to
close.
you.
Yeah, I mean, we have to wait our turns to go in the machine, right? So the closer you get to me, not gonna make you go in there any faster.
That
Give me a
me
little
say,
space, please.
like,
Un po'
If you
payo.
go, if you understand, if you go into the supermarket, it's the same thing. You anywhere you go, people just come like
yeah,
say,
once there's a line,
oh
somebody's
God,
just like right
right
up on
there.
you.
Yeah.
But then, if you're gonna have someone to police you 24 hours a day,
That's what
not
I'm
even in
saying.
slavery days they could do that rubbish.
It's
So,
a sad state of affair. Like it's really very sad. Yeah, the taxi man is still want to the taxi them. The bus, the same thing. You go to the
see,
ATM, to the supermarket, you go to the hospital, anywhere you go, it's like nothing is happening.
maybe it can be said that most of us who think we're adults, we are all children, because usually it's said that children don't know their danger, but like like majority of us don't know our danger. Like we hear that, look, this thing, um to mitigate it, you have to just, for the time being, stay 6 feet apart, wear your mask, all the guidelines. And it's like we don't care, you know. And then children live what they learn. Yeah.
Exactly.
So even since evening, I was hearing outside because I haven't been on the road since day, but hearing the people outside, right? They've been out all day, and then when it got to 6 o'clock or after 6, you hear some of the parents telling the children to go in. They're still out there playing the game, talking, laughing, whatever, having fun, and they are telling the children to come off the road now, go inside if you know see a curfew. What about leading by example? So you are going in and you say, come Jason, come John, come, you understand? And both of us go inside together because, all right, it's curfew, so we can't stay no longer now on the road. But you are here having fun. The child want to have fun too. Yeah? You want him friend run up and down on the road, and you are going to stop him fun now and tell himself to go on in. Go in. And you will still have your fun. Uh, what does that say really? You know? So I think our attitude have to change. We have to, and when I say we, I mean collectively. It's not, yes, it's an individual thing, but it's also a collective thing.
Yeah.
Like whoever we can um try to influence or something, you know, to let them know, look, the children are watching. They are not just watching me as the parent. They are watching us, all of us who, as you started out by saying that, it is said that children, community raise the children, and you're making the reference that the community is now harming the child, you know, and it's because of what the child is learning from them still. So they are still teaching them, but they are teaching them the wrong thing, you know,
Mhm.
the type of music that we listen to and the way we behave. I mean, people don't care anymore that a child is around and to curb some of their words or whatever.
Mhm.
None of that, you know. And then when, for those who don't laugh when they repeat it, they're gonna clap them and say, yeah, look at pitney enough to say that. Like they're absorbing, they're sponge, basically, you know. So they're absorbing everything that they see and hear. So what is it that you are pouring into that sponge?
And
Because
then
when that is poured in, that's what's gonna come out, you know,
And
when it
then
is
as a
success.
parent, as you say, you may behave a particular way in front of the child and then scold the child when the child imitates you.
Yep.
That doesn't tell the child not to do it again. It
Thank
tells the
you.
child that not to do it in your presence. But
Okay.
once I'm outside of your presence, I'm going to do it again because this is what I see mommy or daddy or sister or cousin or whomever does. And then
Mm-hmm.
the thing is there are some persons that are understanding of what is happening, like myself and you, Mr. Harris and Nadia and so on. But majority of the persons, even when you try to have a conversation and show them reasons as to why they should be doing certain things or should not be doing certain things, even when you have valid points, me a big smart me free for do what I want to do. So
Yeah.
it's like you're talking to somebody that just decide that listen, no matter where you are, nobody want to say if me not have corona or if me not catch it yet, that means say it's not out there. And then when they catch it now, them stress everybody and them say the government this and the government that and everybody this and everybody that when they were the ones not taking the proper precautions.
Thank you. And even with um trying to, you know, help somebody to guide their child down the right path, they're gonna tell you point blank, yo, my pitney want to me raise my
Hmm.
child or I want to
Oh,
raise him.
hmm.
You know? You can't tell me how to raise my pitney. You can't tell me how to this and whatever. And
Yep.
then, you know, so that creates a breakdown, and then also um let people who would normally, you know, give some guideline take a step back because they don't want nobody say, allow
Yes.
me, am I pitney, whatever, you know, that type of thing.
You remember Deidre, when he said it takes a village to raise a child?
Hmm.
That's the attitude that contribute to the village stop not raising the child.
Mm-hmm.
That's the attitude, because when you're going to say stuff like that to someone, everybody's going to look like, okay, since that's how you behave when I come and say something to you about your child, if that child is going to hell,
They're
I'll
going to
help it go
reach.
down there. You
Hmm.
understand me? And
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the main reasons why most of our kids are like that in Jamaica, because we normally anybody people would look out for your kids. People would make sure that they reach home. And we said to
Hmm.
yourself,
Yep.
go on up. Yeah, look how hard your mother have to work for make you go to school.
Mm-hmm.
That all that has
Yeah.
stopped because of the attitude of the parents. And then
Mm.
when you're gonna do that in front of the
Hmm.
child,
Yes.
That's even worse.
thank you. So
Yeah.
that's why the village stopped contributing to that child. You
In
go
a
to
positive
school,
way, because they're
you
still
beat off the
contributing.
teacher. You go to school, you cuss off the teacher, you beat off the teacher. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
One, the people them now go church again like one time, because growing up, we had to go to Sunday school every day.
Yes, whether you
And
will or you
whether you
won't.
will or you won't. And so, and
Yeah.
people don't realize Sunday school contributes so much to your child's development. So the
Yeah.
kids are not going to Sunday school, they're not going to church.
Mm-hmm.
So from the
And
child born until from him come out of you just hand him over to Satan and say, here, darling, have fun. And fun he
Lord.
will have.
You see,
yeah.
sometimes us as parents think that being saying yes to the child's every beck and call is the best way of parenting, and it's actually not. Because
Mm.
I mean, how are you going to teach a child responsibility? How are you going to teach a child the meaning of no and understanding that me telling you no doesn't mean that I don't like you or I don't want the best for you? it is because I want the best for you. And then, you know, I mean, yes, your child is going to cry. Yes, your child is going to be upset. Yes, your child is going to feel like they hate you. Yes, your child will have that little feeling of hatred for you. But at the end of the day, you want what is best for the child. And you are, as a parent, you're never going to hurt your child, but you have to be firm sometimes. You have to say no. You have to give the little beatings every now and again. You have to keep them in order.
Yeah.
We need to start doing something, because the kids, it's not affecting us, it's affecting the kids, and it's affecting a society that 10, 15 years down the line, these
It's gonna get
idiots
worse.
that's gonna come up
Mm.
behind us, it's gonna be like, better God come female and end it.
The point you made, earlier about, you know, people deciding, look, we're not gonna do not say nothing to contribute to raising your child because of how you behave. Maybe maybe we might have to you know, let go of that type of thinking and know that we're doing this for the child, not for the parent. Yeah.
But
Because we
you
want a
know,
better society in the long run.
I beg to differ as it pertains to that, Chris, because if it is that you're going to, yes, we want to see the best for the child. But if the parent or sibling or somebody, the guardian of the child, is going to come and physically and verbally attack, accuse, degrade you, then it's going to be very difficult for you to look out for that child, especially if the child is somebody that you cannot really steer them easily, you know, and that guardian or parent giving them the bacative to behave anyhow they want to behave, it's going to be difficult for you to try to direct that child in the right path.
Yeah, in some instances it would be wise to just, you know, be the onlooker. But there are some instances where you can offer some guidance to the child, especially if the child is not in the presence of their guardian. You know, you can sometimes say um, what the right thing is,
Mm-hmm.
and at least they would have heard it. You understand? You're not going to put your hands on them or, you know, try to uh, scold them in any big way or whatever, but just offer some guidance, depending also on the age group of the child, um, so that they would basically, once you have heard it, um, it is there, like the seed is planted.
Mm.
Yeah. So maybe in the long run, they could grow to appreciate that moment that you tried to steer them down the right path. You know, it might work. I don't know.
Well, if the child is susceptible to whatever it is that I would be saying to them, then fine. But if the child is going to be rude and arrogant as well as the parent, then I don't think I would be putting myself through that to being disrespected from the parent and from the child, because I see that what you may be doing or saying is not the right way. So I don't think I would have the same views if the child or the parent is disrespectful.
Yeah, and I mean, I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. I'm just saying that sometimes, based on the circumstance and the moment, you can make the decision whether to or not, you know, to intervene.
Well, to be honest with you, I know that teachers were great and they were doing a very good job, But since this pandemic and this staying at home for the kids, you know, it really let me appreciate teachers a whole lot more. And you know, they are actually superhumans. They are doing a lot for our children. And
Yeah.
you know, at one point it was always said that some parents just they're very upset when it's holiday and when school in session
Yeah.
they're the happiest. um I can definitely understand that now, because boy, I have an 8-year-old and it come like say about she attend somebody in one. Because it not easy. It not easy at all. But
Would I put her across where the road?
eh,
Cross where the road, me I put her cause me no like nice.
we can't avoid that with she. Boy, I don't know how me not mad yet.
Look, they're at that stage, and understand somewhat because I I used to be in early childhood education, and it
Yes.
it was fun, but yeah, it was a lot. It was a
You
lot. It
know,
was a load.
me doing that course also taught me so much. And I think that, you know, doing an early childhood course is something that expecting parents or parents should take on a whole, because it actually
Yeah.
teaches you how to deal with the child from birth to a particular age. And you know, when you see
Yeah.
them doing it will certain things will come back to your memory, and it will help you to understand how to deal with certain situation.
Hmm.
It's that course is very helpful in parenting. And I think that, you know, everybody should do it, even if you're not a parent at some point. Once you want to become a parent, or you have to deal with children, I think it's a course that everybody should do.
Yeah. Mr. Francis, you haven't said anything all night, sir.
Yeah. Um, what you're saying is true. With this is the thing with Jamaicans. They don't really like TikTok from people or suggestions then that will benefit them. Them most persons or most Jamaicans lack the ability to see what you're actually trying to portray to them and
Hmm.
not see the disrespect which them claim to say I do, but then I see the truth where I try bring towards it, bring to light. Yeah. Um, for that part. So for school, um, it is very challenging, yes, because to learn in online classes is really difficult. And I miss school. So the first time I said this, I miss school.
Would have thought.
Okay. Okay.
Something at the camp,
Okay, I
Jesus.
feel that way, you know. Yeah, I actually miss school.
Yeah,
Would have
well,
thought
Oh,
these kids nowadays would be
feel
saying that.
weird by saying that. It's me, I like it hot. Anyways, um, yeah, the
Oh
Mr.
God,
teachers
give me that
them.
hug. Give me that hug. Give me that. Get one of the teacher them to come on tomorrow
The miss
morning,
me
please.
teachers them. The miss.
What you say?
Yeah.
Oh God, me need to play this in your school.
No, honestly, yeah,
no,
yeah,
but
for
you
real.
know, it's the case. It is the case for a lot of children. Most children, you know, they're basically looking forward to, you know, going back to school. They're asking their parents
It will be a
when.
grand reunion.
My God,
Yeah, this will be
something.
bigger than if like cartel release like tomorrow. So you're talking be, you know, that'll be way bigger.
True.
Yeah, actually, I compare school to cartel. Like you see how that no, how that got it at one sentence, like you know. But honestly, yeah, we learn more in a classroom setting than an online setting. So for online, you can just when you get questions, you can just search it up in a Google 1, 2, and then you just copy and paste the answers then. Some persons like me will read over a thing and try to, learn
Reword.
it. Or
Yeah,
even
because
reword it as well. But you have some persons who just copy and paste and them done. Then I try understand it, then I try formulate it in them own words or stuff to make it click. So that when I go in an exam, them say, oh, Miss that issue this part online. So remember, or me reword this in my word and in my words and then just jot it down and go on to the next question and stuff. Some of them not really do that based on what me see. So yeah.
I can
and then
imagine
that go
how the
right back to
society I go build like a backward, upside down chimney in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
that just bring me back to when we're much younger and we're going to school and we call it scapiteka. Yeah, the scapiteka sit alongside of you and everything where you write in here about the scapiteka people over and right, that type of thing. It's basically the students nowadays, they are just copying from
Yeah.
Google
Information
and
only.
With a
pasting. They are
4.0
not
update.
necessarily learning anything.
You see, what I always try to tell my son is that you need to think outside of the box. I mean, you get a
Yeah,
homework to do, you get something to do, everybody go and do it this way. Try to do it a different
right.
way. So when your teacher gets it, you can
Be
say,
unique.
yes, this is different. This stands out to
Right.
me, and I can
Yes.
make reference to this. Don't be a part of the norm. I mean, and then the thing is, you see, for parents that don't value education, then they will just say anything and anything. But me and you and Nordia, who knows how important it is to get an education and instill in your child or children that listen, man, we not the foolishness. You have to do what you have to do and make sure say it is done right. Then out of every 10 parent, maybe you have 2 or 1.5 who is like that. And then
Sometimes 3/4.
the rest just go their own way and then no really business with nothing. And then now for your child that is interested in work and wants to do better, when their peers see them excelling and doing well, then them say them a nerd and them call them all sort of a names. And
Yeah.
that's where peer
And
pressure comes in again, and it makes
we don't
them
really get teased. Well, me not get teased. Everybody run come to me. So me kind of actually I feel what the teacher them I feel right now. See
Yeah.
how that go in our sentence.
No, like because it used to happen to me, especially in English class. Like, most of the time people are coming to me to you know how
How
to do
this
this,
do?
how to do that, how
How
that.
that do?
You understand? And no matter how you try to explain it to them,
Them not get
they
it.
tomorrow if they get the work again is the same thing,
or if it is
and so you
reworded, it's the same
realize,
thing, but it's reworded. They may get it sometimes when you give it to them, but if you should ever reword the same thing, there's a breakdown again. They don't understand
Oh
Yes,
how
God,
because
to.
they
man.
weren't paying attention in
because
the first
they didn't take
place.
time to learn. That's the thing. If you learn a thing, then no matter how you twist it and turn it, you're going to get it.
Understand,
Yeah.
yeah.
The problem is they weren't paying attention because they have you to come to.
Yeah,
So why
which
pay
I mean,
attention?
But
nothing is
what
wrong with
if I wasn't there then?
They
nothing is
care,
wrong with
them find
coming to your
somebody
your
else.
your your, your, your your classmate or your peer or whoever to get help. But in getting that help, ensure that you take the time out to learn. Yeah, because they say there's a saying, you give a man a fish, him going to live on you. But if
If you
you
teach
teach
him
him
to
how to fish,
fish.
he'll fish and probably even carry some come give you. You understand? So I mean, it's all about a lot of people, and we carry it over now into adulthood. We like handouts, we like things ready done and ready made, and so I mean, I ask
And
Where you get for number one? Where you get for that? You understand?
and when you point it
No,
out to them now, you hear say you're this and you're that, you're bad mind, you hug the
yeah,
spotlight for yourself, you know, and share and all them stuff that when that is your
yeah.
actual intention.
But that caused some a lack of lack of intelligence. You understand me? That's caused them a lack of intelligence. The problem is how many kids. All right, this year one day I want you to do, yeah. Find out how many of your kids, the children in your group, can read.
Oh, the reality.
You
How's
can't name
that?
5 right off the bat right now.
Can read. Did you? Reading and reading is two different things.
Yes, and reading with understanding
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
Two different things. And I'm asking you how many of them can read.
They still have that
But a lot of us
that.
read, but we can't read.
I'm wondering, like when I was going to school, we used to have reading tests like on a
I
regular
had that
basis.
as well.
I don't know if they still do that. Where
Well,
just random, the teacher just call you up and you have to do reading. So you know
I
that
don't think that
it's not like you
happens.
were prepared before to say, okay, tomorrow will be reading test and whatever.
It
You
does
just
happen
come to class
in
and
Yeah,
yeah,
then do
it does
that, but
happen, but it's for the persons that are slower. If they identify that you are slow, because I think that happens at Kyle school. They have like
no.
they don't have like a remedial class, and they
Oh,
offer extra
yes,
reading
for E
lessons and
and
stuff
for
for
E and F,
those
yeah.
persons. And for my
But
daughter, they
even
do have
in
reading classes also. They have a special subject reading.
yeah, but I mean, when I say reading test, I mean I'm not talking about that is the class for the slower learners or whatever.
Oh, you
Just
I'm
mean
talking
random in the
me
class.
a
understand,
regular class,
what
just
you say.
random. Yeah,
Presentations.
Yeah,
right.
just
So my times I'm
That's
an
it.
IT teacher and a social studies teacher, we just hit with some presentations or if we come up with we get 2 days to prepare and we do them and get
you
graded
still
and
not
no,
stuff.
get
but
it
that's still
visual.
No,
different.
no,
That's
It's still
still
no,
different.
different.
What would
no,
happen
not that.
is that during English class, the teacher would bring
Right.
out a book,
Usually
a
it's in
reading
English
book,
class. Yeah.
and said to you, okay, um, Mr. Harris, come read page 1.
Right.
I have
Then
to read the whole of
when
page
I'm
1.
finished, then you know that okay, Deidre, come and read this paragraph or this page or whatever. You understand? And you have to just read
And
I
it.
three
guess
quarter of the time,
that is done now, but I don't think it's done because they want to know if you can read. I think it's done for participation, for
Yeah,
ensuring that
yeah,
but
people are
then you also
participating.
identify children that
You
have
have to
problem in
true,
reading during that.
true.
But I don't
yeah.
think the teachers stress on that much. As
The,
I think it's only
well,
done.
There's
I
that
think it's only done
possibility.
for well, let me say for some schools it's only done for participation because I know that it happens because they want to stop persons from chatting and they want you to focus on what is happening. So when they call on you, you must know where the other person stop off and start
Hmm.
from there. But the main focus is not to see how you pronounce, how you read with grammar and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to have to go back to what one of the points I made last week that you know teaching is not like it was once. When I
It's
was
not
going
for
to
the love of
school,
it.
right, the teachers, you could tell that the teachers love teaching. They enjoy what they're doing and they want to see, like, they want to see results. They want to see the entire class. Like, they don't want anybody get left
To
behind.
fail,
They
yeah.
want to know that everybody matriculate to the next.
Yeah,
It's
and
like it did something to them.
they
You
would
understand?
push
Make them
you,
feel
they'll
proud.
push you
Yes.
real hard, but is in with them pushing you, you could still feel the love. You would know that,
Yeah.
Miss is doing this, but it's not because she not like me. It's because she
Yeah.
wants to see me better. But
Mhm.
nowadays, some teachers, they will say things to really get under your skin as a student, but
Yeah,
it's not to push you, it's just to degrade you and let you feel less
Yeah.
than and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
true.
But that's bullying. That's
Well,
bullying.
they
And
do
that
it.
should also be highlighted because it is bullying. And also one thing as well, even though we're saying teachers, what about the parents? When last have you taken a book and read to your child?
Read with your child.
Hmm?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, me probably I put too much pressure on you because you probably don't even know how to spell the word book. You
Mighty
understand?
God.
Me probably I put too much pressure on you for saying to you, okay, spell the word B-O-O-K. And you got then turn and I say, what you say?
That word is
I
book.
mean, it's true. And one of the things too goes back to parenting for real, because like back then, even if the parent, so I as a parent would know that, all right, I'm not really good on the subject there or whatever. Or I never leave school, um, I never go high school, or I never go to that level or whatever. So a lot of things would basically fly over my head. What parents would do back then is that they would know somebody in the community that they could call on, or they could ask a teacher to look here, kind of put special attention on Denzel for me, because
Yes.
him kind of slow in this area and we really want him to, you understand, and the teacher would be happy to help. That type of thing.
Or for
Like,
those that could afford the extra lessons.
yeah, even
As I
that.
remember one time when you in primary school, when I was going to primary school, you could go to extra lesson and you didn't have to pay. If you have the money to pay, yeah,
Right,
fine. But
right.
if you don't have the money,
If you don't
that
have it, you
doesn't that
don't have
doesn't that doesn't cause you not to be there. I mean, none of that is if you
to.
don't have your money right now, the better you go on the
Aye,
yard.
Don't even look on it too
Deidre,
hard.
Deidre, every woman at Jamaica can afford extra lesson. Every single woman at Jamaica can afford extra lesson. All right. If you can
You
wear
know,
a wig or reach down on your body jar, you can afford
What the
extra
money
lesson.
for the wig is not for the extra lesson. What is wrong with you? Not go
Okay.
shorten my wig money for extra lesson. You understand it work?
Yeah, your eyelash money can pay for extra
No,
lesson. Your
dear.
nails money, your
Mm-mm.
foot money can pay for
Me
extra
African when my
lesson.
boyfriend come and me blink, so him have to stay cool.
Make sure the foot smooth
very
and
good.
crusty.
Yes. You
Can't
can't do
rub my
that.
foot
So,
on
no,
him.
no. You're
I
out
have
of
scratch
order.
off his skin already if start a
Mm.
fire. No.
My child can stay. They have the rest of them life to sort out themselves. But for right now, me have to sort out. Yes.
Yeah, you see,
Sad but
I think I'm living in the wrong type of.
As me
funny
say,
but sad.
persons like myself and Jew and Denzel who knows the value of an education, who knows that it's not easy if you just survive, right? You are gonna make sure, say your child do what needs to be done. Then could have bex, then could have whatever, go on bex, cry, shout, whatever, but make sure say I do what I want if you do, and it is being done properly. Then later down the road, you will thank me. But for now, throw a little tantrum, do whatever. And if you throw the tantrum too hard, you get little medicine. And my auntie,
Yeah,
yeah, one auntie will always say, Mrs. say you want little medicine, you soon get it. So, yeah. So we know the little medicine is something there. So if them behave too much, you get a little touch up and then we go on through again.
yeah.
Funny, growing up, that's why I miss my grandmother so much. Growing up, my grandmother used to call when we come home from school. And at the time, it was just me and my three brothers in the house as small children, because my aunts never start having kids until I started having kids. So my aunt's kids, which are my first cousins, and my kids are the same age. And my grandmother, she would call us after school. She never called me. She never called me because she knew that she never had a problem with me doing my work because I loved reading. So that wasn't a problem. But she would call everybody and they would have to get their books. So when they come home from school, all homework have to done. So by 6 o'clock, homework done, reading done, You catch a little water and you bathe in the house. So
Bathe
by 6, yeah, you 6:37,
and
you
dinner
watch
time.
TV at dinner time. You
Yeah.
understand me? And even like after my cousin's born, she did the same thing up to her death. And I think
Mm.
that was one of the strong point that made my younger cousins finish. She's only one, and now him practically at the last one for my auntie them in the kids' range. Him not come out with nothing reading. I just show my grandmother dead.
Mhm.
If my grandmother did dead, it would be eggs are young ones. You understand me? Eggs are young ones. Him have to come out with 10 CXC subject, 15 A levels, and a master's degree out at the age of 18. Cause she ain't playing.
Yep.
No, him left
Yeah.
school, not even 2 subject. And all that happened because my grandmother died.
Man, you see, the thing is, our kids will test us to see how far we will allow them, or how far we'll
To
allow them to
go.
go, right? And
Mhm.
and some parents, some things, it's funny or it's cute when they're smaller, but you have to know when to draw the line.
No, not no
Because
Yeah.
if
cute. No, not no cute.
no, what I'm saying is children will do stuff. They will do some kid
Right.
stuff. Me not thought they trying to be adult stuff. They will do some kid stuff where you can laugh at and stuff and things
Yeah.
like that. But at the end of the day, when you see it's going more, when it's going over the kids' style and the kids' attitude to more like a adult big people things, then you need to draw the line. And some parents don't know how to do that. Or because it will make the child unhappy or sad or whatever, them say, oh,
Mhm.
well, let me go and, until it gets worse and worse and worse and worse.
See, the thing is, um, the Bible says when I was a child, I speak as a child, I did,
Childish
childish
things.
things. The thing is, so even in us doing the childish thing, we have to have somebody saying, okay, that is not right. Yeah.
It's time to move
And
away
that is
from
how
that.
we know, that is how we learn right from wrong. But if everything that we do, the parent laughs or the
Hmm.
guardian just laugh at it and whatever, and it's funny and whatever, then you won't know what is right from what is wrong. You just think that everything you do is right. Yeah. And then you grow with that behavior now, and you take it into society and cause a whole lot of problem, you know.
And that
But
coupled with the parents, them will cause our people for them for the child, not telling the child that listen, you are wrong, but they
hmm
enforce everything that the child do, and whoever the child hurts or harms or whatever, they curse that person for the child or want to fight that person for the child. The child is going to think that they're always right.
hmm
And most of
hmm
them are raised some proper psychopath, that them not realize, Most of
yeah,
them raising some serious psychopath and some serial liars.
Yeah, some narcissists.
Yeah?
hmm
Oh boy. I don't know what to say because it's
Right.
it's really a sad tale of watching the society going to hell. And
Mhm.
it's like you can't do nothing to stop it. You understand me? You can't even talk to the parent itself because there's no parent. You understand me? There's no parent for you to talk to. So it's a sad tale. And
Sad, sad state of affairs.
something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. If not, this society is better, as I say, I say it again, it's better God come for him world. Because even him not gonna want it when them done.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, it's it's sad, and even as I said, in trying to find solutions and so forth, um, how far will my effort go? You understand? It's something that I don't know. There seemed to, well, not seem to, there definitely was a breakdown coming down because there was much more uh, interest placed in the child um, from times before now. And then now it's a different thing. It's like everybody just business about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I
You know,
think I think
care business
also
about themselves, and they don't care about the child. So the child just grow up to do anything and
Be
be
the same
anything.
and the cycle continues.
Yeah.
I think the church need to do a bit more. I think the church, yes, community the church need to do a bit more, because at this moment in time I think we're going to need more community centers. When I mean community centers, like when they had the police youth club or stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, you have more stuff like that. You understand me? Get the church more engaged in the child's life. You understand me? Teach them a bit more
Even
script.
as you mentioned, police youth club. I guess some of those things have become dormant, though. You know, um,
Cadet,
I
girls
don't
guides, all those stuff
see much
used to help discipline
activity from
children.
those type of um. I don't
Some of
see much
those
activity.
things will not come into play now because I guess with the pandemic and all of them, with the gathering together and all of them, all of those things will be limited right now. And then,
Look, one thing though that can happen is that you mentioned the church and all of those things. All of those groups, they could do community outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't have to be a big group of young people, but if it's something that you have to go say door to door, or say 5 children at a time or whatever. Because in some of the inner city areas they have like the community centers where what is happening now is they are using them uh, for children who don't have like certain devices. So they invite them to come and they can use their computers and so forth. But even with those, it can also be stretched past just them doing whatever on the computer. How about, teaching them some morals, some stuff that maybe they don't have anybody at home to teach them that, you know, for especially like the young men who don't have a father figure at home. They just see man coming and going, different man, so they don't even know who to look
Not
to
everybody a
see.
uncle.
Yeah,
Shamina, I don't like that phrase there because to me, why am I going to tell my child to call my spouse uncle? That would mean say my brother. So
yeah.
some the
I
family
mean, yeah.
thing,
See the confusion
yeah,
again,
it's
teaching the
sit
child
well
the
with
wrong
me.
thing,
Yeah, sit well. No,
because
no uncle
your
that thing.
uncle should be your
Family,
parents'
your mother, brother.
relative.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You sure this is Uncle Aris, yeah? Please steer up.
I don't like it. It's something that
yeah.
I've always disliked. Oh, Missy Cat, no, uncle, no, I don't like it at all, not one bit.
Mhm.
So when the child grow up now and learn what uncle is really, you're like, okay,
You know, so much man mommy did have.
so much, no, so much brother,
Yes.
Mm,
so much brother, mommy, I'm like, and you can't call upon none of them for anything at all, because now you see me, now you don't.
And then the thing is, from when you're learning the family structure and how you should relate to your family, why mommy and uncle gonna lock up in the room? Or why mommy a kiss
Yeah,
uncle or uncle a kiss mommy and all of them good stuff. So you know,
You can go in the room anytime mommy and uncle did it.
right? You have to all your corners.
So sad still.
I
It's such
can't
a
manage.
it's such a it's sad still. You understand me? It's sad because we need to try do something. And as you said, Mr. Harris, they're using these centers for kids that don't have any devices. If you can do that, open back school.
Hmm.
Because if
Uh,
them can't go to the community center, them can't go to school.
these are not I mean, it's not like the government tell them to do it
Yes,
or
it's
whatever.
persons,
It's
one-off
just some
persons
people
doing it,
just,
you know.
yeah, just trying to help.
When
You know.
school did open, close, face-to-face school to close, them used to call some of my teachers to come finish with SBA, come up to the school. So yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. The opening of schools would have to be from the
Sanctioned
ministry.
by the government.
Me
Yeah.
say, better say the whole of now go to school this summer. Every single day, right back up until next year, June.
No, sir.
Uh,
That'll be a good thing
Well,
still, you know.
it
Cause
it
why?
so
We're
if it
not
has school
one
for
of
my
my
birthday,
for
friends.
these
Hmm.
kids to catch up. They're gonna have to forfeit some holidays.
Yes. But then
even
some
birthday too.
teachers may not want to do that also because, you
Me
know,
not, listen,
Yeah.
you
holiday
get
for them
paid.
time.
You're getting paid. Even when teachers are not at work, they're
Nor they
getting paid.
remember say it's
No,
not for
but
the love of a
remember,
thing again, you know.
thank
It's
you,
for the money
thank you.
only. And a teacher go say, when I come stress me with the picnic when this and that and rave blah blah.
You know, for a teacher, I'm glad right now. Them
Not
not
true.
more to be with.
Because basically the
Yeah.
parents most time of the parents are teaching them, not the teacher. The teacher just put work
Mm-hmm.
in a Google Classroom and that's
And
it.
that's it.
That's if them turn up.
Eh.
That are the next thing too when me I explain say
And
with the
everybody
update.
have internet issues. At one point I had to delete Zoom from my daughter's tablet twice because whenever me I try to go in, it just now work. It may get all just like on they was getting all sorts of error this evening.
See?
It's the same thing. I had to delete and reinstall, and it's the same code, it's the same password, but we just need to go in. And then
Mm-hmm.
when the internet decides say we're not working today, or
Yeah.
you know, I am
GPS decide
working.
for
Yeah, I am working. Um, there's a timetable, and then they switch up the timetable. The time when you know class start, class number that start at time, or is a
Yeah.
different class they're having that time. And by the time the WhatsApp message will come in, and you will see it, and you will call the child and say, "All right, you have this class. The time is almost gone." So
Yeah.
it's tedious, it's difficult, it's frustrating because I have to be behind my daughter for ensure that she there in her class because if me not there, she knows the routine, but whenever it switches up, that's where the
Yeah.
problem comes in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know,
God, I
and it's
thank you,
not.
Jesus, me not no baby.
I mean, I tell you. You see, as I said, what can be done is that those
School film
who
back.
know the right thing. I mean, that will not put an end to everything. You know.
Yeah, but at least it will
It
put
will
it
alleviate
further
some.
yes.
smooth out the dent.
Hey, so we had a few issues with technology, so we didn't get to close off properly. But we really hope that you enjoyed it. Uh, just want to remind you as well to like and to subscribe and to share and also leave a comment. All right, and we'll see you next time. All right.